semi-final of the FIFA Club World Cup, and this is why we love this game. Underdogs versus Inter Milan doesn't matter. Underdogs versus Al Hilal, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, as Renato, the coach of Fluminense, says, it's all about who wants it more. And let me tell you, this team wants it, the fans want it, and now they'll be going to MetLife Stadium for the semi-final match against either Palmeiras or Chelsea. What a game.
He's clearly gone somewhere to sit down, to rest and to breathe. But he's right, it was a fantastic game. And in the end, Fluminense, who were hanging on, to be fair, in the last sort of 10 minutes, did enough.
Yeah, unbelievable history the club made now to make it a final and semi-final. It's a great mark, it's a great history. I think Fluminense played their way. Renato won the play. The players did a great job until now. It's fantastic to be see the Fluminense in this position now.
They almost played the way Al Hilal played against Man City. It was almost catching them in transitions, catching them on the break, using that speed.
Yeah.
And when they had chances, apart from maybe Kano, they took their chances.
They did take their chances, and they could have had a few more as well, because, as you said, they were clever in how they played. I think Renato, the manager, deserves a bit of credit as well, because he took the goal scorer Martinelli off at half-time. He thought that's a strange decision, and then he brings Hercules on, who gets the winning goal. So you've got to give him great credit for that decision. I think Martinelli had a yellow card as well, but there was moments in the second half where, again, Bono produced a couple of good saves to keep them out. Yeah, they pushed hard towards the end, Al Hilal, but just they weren't at the level they were at Man City for whatever reason. They were just a yard off it, and obviously Fluminense, I think, probably deserved to get to the semi-final.
All right, let's have a look at the first goal, which was by far the best goal of the game. Incredible by Martinelli. I mean, the turn, and yes, there was a mistake from Cancelo, but you've got to take advantage of those mistakes, and he did that.
Yeah, you see, Cancelo has a poor clearance, and we've circled the goal scorer here, Martinelli. He just comes alive, and I think his movement's brilliant there, Addy. You know that he sort of moved away from the goal, he created that just little yard of space, and then his first touch is just top drawer, and there's an angle here now, you'll see, look at this. The pictures speak for itself, don't need me speaking over them. Top corner, top bins. This gives Bono absolutely no chance. A brilliant finish.
Yeah. Koulibaly was a massive problem, wasn't he, for Fluminense all game, in both boxes. Defensively, fantastic, as we expect. But going forward as well, in terms of almost being the main threat of attack, really, for Al Hilal. Like, he was all over the place.
Yeah, he has a lot of presence inside the box. And the team know where they need to put the ball, and then they just run in ahead of you. See how dangerous it is on this situation. Also, in the end, a couple of chances he has, well, it's unbelievable.
It's difficulty defending us. He's so big, he's so strong. And when you got someone like Ruben Neves as well on delivery, it's very difficult defending us. I mean, I should mention the keeper again, Fabio at 44. A brilliant save there from Koulibaly. Yeah, and Koulibaly showed why he's so good in the air, because it was really his presence in the box which helped Leonardo get the goal to make it 1-1. Let's have a look at that goal. Yeah, well, Leonardo's a goal scorer, but I think defensively, for me, you know, Fluminense are poor here. What's this? There's 2v2 in the box. Koulibaly, I think Bernal should probably go with him. He gets sidetracked with the run. And look at the space Koulibaly's in now. He's probably the best header of the ball in the whole competition. He can't have that much freedom at the inside the box. No chance, you know. And then, to be fair to Leonardo, he gets a good first touch, and he's not going to miss from there, is he? No, he's not. Look at it here. Leonardo, he's scored about 3 goals from 4 yards, hasn't he? Yeah. Hercules has definitely been the super sub of the tournament. We saw him against Inter Milan, a fantastic goal on his left foot. Here he shows he's so two-footed, because this goal on his right foot is just as good. Yeah, he's a really good player. He's coming for the bench so well. You can see here, he's tried the first time, and he already knows where the ball is going, and he's running from the ball, and the finish is a classic. It's really difficult to finish that goal. And then look at how he's taking his time, look where he's shooting, and then they make a fantastic goal. That kid's they're not going to be asleep for tonight. Yeah, we're always trying to look for a new young superstar, haven't we? We might have found one. Yeah. I think we can actually hear from young Hercules as well, who was the superior player of the match, and he is now alongside our reporter Alex Aljo. But let's hear from the superior player of the match winner Hercules, with Alex Aljo.
Hercules, parabéns, marcou golaço e scored an amazing goal. Qual feliz com a performance vitória de hoje. How happy are you with that win?
Muito feliz pelo gol, né? Segundo gol, muito importante. Então, como eu falei sempre, eu vou continuar trabalhando para as coisas acontecer. E também agradecer muito esse companheiro, o grupo que sempre me deu força, estão sempre me ajudando. Agradecer também a Deus e minha família.
I'm so happy for the goal, but I'm also so grateful for my teammates that helped me so much, and to the fans as well, who are always with us. Boa sorte na semifinal. Good luck in the semifinal.
Boa sorte, que você tem para os seus torcedores, boa sorte para essa final.
Tá bom?
Boa sorte.
Ok, obrigado. Nada.
She's good at that, isn't she, Alex Aljo? By the way, she can do that in German, French, Italian.
Wow.
Whatever language she wants, she can do it.
Yeah.
Can we have a look at that goal again from Hercules, honestly? Because you forget that he was the one that actually took the shot, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And it was a wayward shot, but he almost followed his own shot. Got the head in deflection and bang.
I think it's a wee bit like the Martinelli, the first touch. You know, as Kleb says, he joins in and his first touch makes it. And then, of course, Bono, one of the best keepers for me, and being in this tournament as well. And I'm sad to see him go out tonight. But again, watch his first touch. Yes, he has the strike, and there's a bit of luck because, you know, it comes to... But he's on his toes.
Yeah.
You know, he suspects his mate's going to win the header, and again, it's his first touch that makes this goal. Watch the first touch here. Brilliant first touch, and then Bono comes flying out. It makes himself big. He's a massive goalkeeper as well. This is a really good angle to show. Look at that first touch.
Oh, beautiful.
He doesn't have to take another touch. Has a wee look at the keeper, and watch this. He reverses it. And watch where the ball ends up, inside the post by about an inch. That is a brilliant finish.
Yeah, and that's a Bono that's come out who's, again, for you, has been the best keeper of the tournament, really spreads himself.
Yeah.
So it really is a good finish. How big is this for, not just Brazil, but for South American football as a whole there? Fluminense through to the semi-final.
I think that's it's not only big, but a huge, you know, the opportunity like to come in this tournament, compete against like top team in Europe, and then show the quality the players has. That's not going to be forgotten, because that moment, it's special. It's special for the South America teams, because that's not only about Fluminense, about all team there, you know. They play like a Copa Libertadores or Argentina League or Brazilian League, but see how the way those guys beat the European team. Even like our Hilal is a great team also. They beat City last week. Mm-hmm. Imagine if they have opportunity to get in a semi-final on this moment, it's a magic.
I guess from a European standpoint, I'd like to see Chelsea maybe see what they can do, but I guess from an all-Brazilian standpoint, to see Palmeiras versus Fluminense in an all-Brazilian semi-finals massive.
Well, it would be special, and I think, you know, the atmosphere, and the carnival atmosphere they bring to the game. Imagine a Brazilian semi-final. Imagine they'll be flying in their plane loads, I think, from Brazil just for that game alone. They really would. It'd be a phenomenal atmosphere. But again, from I suppose from an English point of view, a Premier League point of view, we'd like to see Chelsea, you know, probably go all the way now because Man City are out. But again, Palmeiras is a good team as well. And but tonight's all about Fluminense. They're going to enjoy it tonight. Probably celebrate back at the hotel, whatever. But they deserve to go through. They really do.
They call him the King of Rio. He's only a few games away from being called the King of Brazil. Let's hear from Fluminense manager Renato. He's with Alex Aljo.
Parabéns às semifinais. Congratulations through to the semi-finals. Qual feliz ficou como vitória, a performance de hoje? How happy are you with the performance and the win today?
Sabemos que o jogo ia ser muito difícil, como foi, bastante pegado, muito quente. Preparei a minha equipe basicamente da maneira que nós enfrentamos a Inter. O esquema mais uma vez deu certo, controlamos o jogo praticamente a partida toda. Sofremos um gol de empate logo no segundo tempo. Mas acho que valeu a atitude, a garra, a vontade, a entrega dos jogadores para a gente conquistar mais essa fase, por mais um degrau. E hoje, com o trabalho de todo mundo, estamos numa semifinal.
We knew it was going to be a difficult game, but I'm so pleased with the way my players reacted. We were able to score first and then they equalised, but we came back and we scored again. And I'm so happy that we've gone through to the semi-finals. Qual foi a sua mensagem para o Hercules quando entrou? What did you say to Hercules when he came onto the pitch? Golaço, né? What a goal.
Acho que a mensagem é a entrega de todo mundo, né? Independente se o jogador vai começar uma partida ou não. O importante é ele estar focado no trabalho, entregar tudo que ele pode. Eu sempre falo para eles que o que a gente pode fazer hoje, a gente não deixa para amanhã. É uma oportunidade única que a gente vem tendo, disputar uma Copa do Mundo. A gente não sabe quando nós vamos ter outra oportunidade. Então, o meu grupo está de parabéns por tudo que eles vem fazendo. Nosso torcedor está feliz, isso que é importante também. E eu dou essa vitória para a nossa torcida, porque ela tem sido espetacular aqui nos Estados Unidos. Tenho certeza que ela está fazendo muita festa também no Brasil, então essa classificação é na nossa torcida.
I told Hercules when he came on that I'll keep translating, just to keep doing what he knew what to do, that he was going to have an opportunity to score, and he took it when he did. I'm so happy with all the fans that are here from Brazil. We have so much support, and they will stay with us now as we go to the semi-final.
Incredible man, isn't he? Incredible personality. I feel like we don't see many personalities when it comes to management anymore. He's certainly sort of in the Jose Mourinho mode of just sort of energy on the touchline, and I feel like the players react to it.
I think that's the player. The players want a manager like him, you know. Imagine you play and they have so real, so like a trust on his teammates. The way he speak, the way he talk about his team, he always put out, my players deserve this. They work hard to get the opportunity, and the plan Renato had been work on this competition, it's worked well.
Yeah.
Work against Inter, he said I will work today again, and probably going to be work for next time, because he started to like that kind of stuff. The players start to believe more. The fans, it's already won on the final, but the players start to like, and then probably going to be like a so good competition for the semi-final.
Yeah. What you're hearing now from the players and what you're seeing, I guess, is a team that now believes, don't they? They genuinely believe they can go on and win this. And, again, we like to harp on about Thiago, but rightly so. He's a man that just marshals that back line, and he's barking orders left and right, and they just seem so solid at the back. Yes, obviously Al Hilal had their chances, but they seem so rigid and solid in the back line.
I think you said off air, actually, we were watching, and even at the water break, Thiago was the one giving out tactical information again to his team. But look, this is the team shape here. They're so solid, so hard to break down. Al Hilal didn't have the answers. You mentioned before the game about Al Hilal playing against Man City on the counter-attack. And you asked the question, are they good enough to break a low defensive block down? And probably looking at these pictures, they weren't. But Thiago Silva and his mates were just bodies on the line, goalkeeper making saves, defending for their lives. It really was. You know, the heat over there as well. We're sitting here in the studio, it's nice and cool, but over there the temperatures are high, concentration again. We talk about Fabio making a brilliant save at 44, made a couple of late saves on as well in the game. But again, what's this 1v1 defending? It's just the way he set them up, Renato, is just it's really difficult to break down. And again, you say, like, you go past Inter Milan, they haven't probably given a chance to beat them. Al Hilal going into this game favourites as well, but then they're like, okay, we're underdogs, we will show to the world we can defend a goal, we can score goals with obviously the two goal scorers, but again, can we defend the goal? Look, this is the last minute, you know, keep mentioning his age, but Fabio 44 throwing his life on the line there to keep the ball in it, and as an ex-goalkeeper, I just love that. Stop the ball going into the net at all costs. And again, this is injury time, and it's all hands to the pump, Barry. Everyone's getting behind the ball, and we mentioned their fans. Look, this is magical, isn't it? Yeah, it's great.
And then they do this after every game as well, don't they? They go to the fans, and it's almost like we're all in this together. When are we going to start doubting them and start believing that they could win this? Because they seem to be underdogs in every match, but yet they still find a way. They find a way to either get a point or win. When are we going to start to maybe give them their respect?
I think, like I said, they like to say that. They like to stay calm, they for behind, to put other teams in the front, and they just play the way they want to play. You know, I think this is going to be start to believe to win to get in the final. I think when they get in the final, they're going to be say, okay, now it's the moment now. But it's perfect the way they played. The way they play, the fans. Fantastic to see the fans in Brazil like celebrate like that.
We saw some amazing shots after they beat Inter Milan, right? All the fans in Rio, it looked incredible. I guess it's going to be similar today, isn't it?
You can imagine how Copacabana will be tonight. Disney around. Disney is going to be a lot of fans around, because that's a great history for the club.
Obviously, the other side of the draw does have the heavyweights, right? Bayern Munich, there, PSG, Real Madrid, etc. But surely we do need to start taking Fluminense serious, especially the way in which they do line up. They have got good goal scorers. We've seen it with Hercules. They've got different type of players as well. Their midfield seems to have an engine, doesn't it? Martinelli, we saw him today. They can win this tournament. Well, again, a bit like Al Hilal against City, they're really good defensively in a low block, or whatever you want to call it. But they have players quick to hit you on the break. And again, as I say, we didn't show the couple of chances they had second half as well. You know, they could have won it a bit more comfortable. They had a few very good chances. Bono made a few good saves. But again, I think if they set up in the clips we just showed defensively, they have got players to break from that sort of defensive shape. Because again,
sorry to say, but they probably will be underdogs in the semi-final. But as Kleb says, they don't mind that because no one expects them to go through to the final, and maybe that's the way Renato likes it. Just go back to his shirt there. I mentioned his shirt before the game. I said that light blue shirt, and then at the end with Alex, he was like literally it was soaking. But it just shows you as a manager, he kicks every ball, heads every chance, and he's nearly sliding tackles at the end himself to keep the ball in the net. But he's a real character when it comes to management for sure.
All right, Fluminense, the first team into the Club World Cup semi-final. Well, and this was the reaction to that winning goal in Rio de Janeiro. Look at that. It just seems to mean more to these fans, doesn't it? That is absolutely fantastic. And they're going to be hoping that they can do this 2 more times and to become Club World Champions. And this is it in the dressing room. Hercules, he's going to love that trophy, isn't it? Cano enjoying himself as well. I know all the players now. Look at this. Renato there as well on the phone to fans. And we can hear from the captain, Thiago Silva, who should be very happy. He's with Alex Aljo.
Thiago, congratulations. Through to the semi-final, the Club World Cup. How would you sum up your emotions right now?
I'm very happy. Very proud with my team, you know. It's not easy to play this competition. Arriving semi-final, you know. It's too far for me to imagine this moment, you know. But I'm very happy for the team, for myself as well, for the performance, you know. We stay together all the time. It's never easy to play against the team like this. You know, the quality is amazing, you know. Malco, all the players, you know, play very, very well. But Fluminense is there. I'm very happy for this.
We've seen you're a big leader in that dressing room. There's scenes of you speaking to all of the players. You're 40 years old and you're still playing at the highest level. Tell us, what is the secret? I'm glad that didn't hit you.
I don't know. Maybe we need to stay like this mentally, you know. The performance is good today. Now we need to recover well because 4 days later I need to play again. For me, it's never easy to play all the game 4 days, 3 days. You know, the recovery for me is no fast. But I'm here, I'm happy. In my head, I'm very happy for the team arriving the same final.
And it could be against Chelsea. What would that mean to you?
Maybe. Now I need to just recover to see the game Chelsea-Palmeiras. I don't know. I'm waiting for Chelsea, of course, but Palmeiras are a big team as well.
Thiago, thank you so much. Well done, and we love watching you play out there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Parabéns.
Yeah, I echo exactly what Alex Aljo said there. We love watching Thiago Silva play. And I remember when he came to Chelsea from PSG, and I remember everyone thinking, he's in his mid-30s, what does he have left to do? Maybe he's only coming for the last couple of years, and he was fantastic for Chelsea. And now we see him at Fluminense, and you think, surely no more, but he keeps on going.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, no? The level he's continuing to play, the presence he has on the team, on the locker room, you know, that's incredible. He's a leadership. He knows like how the game's going, you know. You see the power he has with the coach, when he's talking to the coach, when he's talking to his teammate. And then he's deserved that. I know his career is getting close, but he's deserved this moment because he's a brilliant player. We'll be missing him a lot.
Yeah, what a way for it to close if this is sort of the last big tournament he plays. But he's almost like a manager on the pitch, isn't he, Shay? We've seen every time there's a water break, he's the one really sort of giving everyone this speech, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that's where he got the nick actually in the eye there. He got a kick in the eye, and you can see he's a warrior to the end. Look, he's back on the pitch again. Nothing's going to keep him off the pitch, and that again shows his leadership qualities. He's been in multiple countries, won multiple titles. This guy, Brazilian international. He's been everywhere. He's done everything, and you can tell. We've seen it for a few of the water breaks. You've seen him giving team talks, tactical. As you said, you're spot on, Addy. He's the manager on the pitch. He makes demands off people. He's brilliant in both boxes. What can you say? you know, a Brazilian hero. I'm sure Kleb back at home for the career he's had. He's been just truly immense player.
Fantastic. Again, he does this, doesn't he? He shows the emotion, and we're happy to see it. When we come back, we are going to hear from the losing manager, Simone Inzaghi, who's only been at Al Hilal for a matter of a few weeks. He'll be disappointed after their big win against Man City.
Simone, commiserazione. Come riassumeresti la partita? How would you sum up that game? Commiserations.
È stata una partita equilibrata, l'abbiamo vista, è stata una partita combattuta e è stata decisa su un episodio il secondo tempo, però insomma bisogna fare i complimenti al Fluminense che ha fatto un'ottima gara, ma io vorrei soprattutto fare i complimenti ai miei ragazzi per come l'hanno giocata. Chiaramente ci sono stati degli episodi che hanno condizionato la gara, però hanno messo in campo tutto quello che avevano, il cuore, quindi va fatto un grosso applauso. Abbiamo fatto un grandissimo mondiale e adesso purtroppo soffriamo per la sconfitta, però dobbiamo essere fieri e orgogliosi di quello che abbiamo fatto.
It was a really equal game. It was a big battle out there on the pitch, and I'm so proud of my players and the job they did. They played really well at parts during that game, but I also want to say well done to the Fluminense players because they did really well, but overall I'm just so proud of my players. Non eri qui da molto, you haven't been long, ma quanto sei felice di essere qui? How happy are you to be Al Hilal?
Molto, molto. Poi insomma abbiamo fatto questo mondiale alla grande, al di là di ogni aspettativa abbiamo rappresentato bene il nostro paese, abbiamo dato una grandissima prova e per quello insomma che ho ringraziato i ragazzi ad uno, adesso negli spogliatoi prima di venire qua da voi.
I'm so happy with all of my players, so proud of them. We've had an absolutely brilliant tournament, a brilliant Club World Cup experience, and I want to say well done to each and every one of them in the squad for all that they've achieved here, and everyone is so proud in Saudi Arabia as well. Complimenti, well done. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We've just reached out to FIFA and asked if they have one of those trophies to give to Alex Aljo, who clearly can do Portuguese and Italian back-to-back like it's absolutely nothing.
He's going to close in Portuguese tonight, by the way.
I'll try a little something for you. Simone Inzaghi obviously looked disappointed, but
yeah.
I mean, ultimately it's been a good tournament for him, hasn't it? I mean, Real Madrid on the opening game, Salzburg, yes, and then obviously Pachuca, and now this result. He will be disappointed, but the Man City game is, I guess, what sums up Saudi Arabian football.
Yeah, I mean, it really put them on the map because no one gave them a chance before that game. Man City thought they would roll them over, and they didn't. And Inzaghi and his team deserve so much credit on the back of a brilliant tournament. And as you said before, he's only been in the job a few weeks. You know, you can imagine what he can do if he's there for a few years, because got some brilliant players in the Saudi League now, and adding managers like Inzaghi, he's only going to improve it as well. So. Yeah, I think there's a picture of the owner after the Man City game hugging him. Like, I think he's happy with his appointment, and the team can be very proud. Just on a side note, Cancelo and Neves tonight playing under what's happened in the last couple of days. You know, with Jota, the tragedy with him, they were in tears. You know, just right before kick-off, and it must have been tough for them both to play tonight. You know, so. Yeah,
and that's a tough call as well for Simone Inzaghi to put them in as well, isn't it?
Well, you know, he would have asked, you know, Inzaghi would have spoke to them both, I'd say, or individually, and said, you know, do you think he can play? Because they were so close to him as a team. And it was quite emotional to see them both in tears. They couldn't keep their emotions in before the game, you know. So it's really tough. You know, Adi, what do you say? We spoke about Jota and the tragic, him and his brother losing their life, you know, and that's literally a couple of minutes before kick-off. So how these two guys cleared their head to actually play in this game was remarkable, and it would have took a bit out of them. There's no doubt about that. This is like literally before the referee starts the game. So great credit to them to get through tonight.
Did they get anything wrong, Al Hilal, in the way in which he set up maybe? A player maybe not performing to the levels he expected? Or was it just a case of Fluminense being just a bit better?
No, I think they don't miss anything. I think that's a hard competition, you know? And then I think like Renato Gaúcho find a way the Fluminense play. He studied a lot like Al Hilal and try to stop like the best option they have. And then I don't think they make mistake like about like to give the goals on the corner kicks. Probably is a danger place more for Al Hilal, but I think it's difficult because it's a tough tournament. You just win last week against top team and then go play against Fluminense. Fluminense deep a little bit more, 5 guys on the back, and then have a quality players. You know, I don't think they miss anything. I think they're proud the position they are now.
Yeah, they're proud, but Fluminense are going to be even prouder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, again, they'll be hoping it's Palmeiras in an all sort of Brazilian semi-final battle, but so far so good for Fluminense, who just seem to have got it right. They've almost timed themselves correct into this competition.
Yeah, the fans as well deserve a special mention, both in America and back in Brazil.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned yourself, they're a different breed, these fans. It's like a religion. They just love football. And when they win and you see the celebration, even the players FaceTiming people back in Brazil, you know, it means so much to them. And as you said, they might have timed their run perfectly. They're in the last four of this major tournament, and they'll have thoughts we can get their hands on the trophy. And imagine they did that.
If you're young Hercules, are you thinking, wait a minute, I've got a chance to potentially start the next game? I mean, he's come off the bench twice and scored 2 goals. Is he knocking on the manager's door, Renato, and saying, I should play the next one?
I think Hercules has a big personality, you know. I think he can do that. He did it in 2 games. You know, now they start to believe a little bit more. And then he do the job, you know. He took like the player Martinelli play well. That's a not one for those guys.
It could be a super sub as well, Club, couldn't he? Just keep him off the bench like a
keep him on the bench,
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played me back in the day. Maybe just keep him off the bench, and he's a lucky omen coming off the bench. Two brilliant goals he scored.
He certainly is. Shay Given, thank you very much. Kleberson, thank you very much as well. All right.